I'm Melvina Snow. My Indian name? I can't remember how to say it in Indian, but it's a walking thunderbird woman. I used to could say it good, but Wagia Mani Wea. That's it. Wagia Mani Wea. Walking thunderbird woman. I was born across the creek there, October 24th, 1942. I'm both a Cinnabon and Govant, but I go by Govant. Hays. My mom was Julia Veronica Horn, married James Bernard Snow II. James Snow what's right there? It's an Indian name anyway. Some kind of woman. Left-hand woman. Who are my kids? There's Dale and Monty Snow. I'm adopted them. My oldest is Robert D. Healy III, and then there's Sharonda Healy, and then Gilbert Work. I went to school at the mission till I was 8th grade, and then I went to Flandreau for the four years of high school. I don't really know. It's just, a lot of religion for one thing. Oh, we ate everything from our garden, our vegetables, everything. And then for meat, my dad sometimes would hunt and bring home. But we had cows and horses and chickens. So we always had eggs, and my stepmother always made bread. We'd have bread or hot cakes or things like that. You guys wouldn't understand it. We played around those hills, especially on winter. Always have a fire there, tire fire. Cold as it was, sometimes we didn't, being poor, you don't always have gloves, so we'd have socks. But we'd still go out there and play. And that's what I'm missing now. I don't see those kids out there enjoying the snow or when it comes down. They're all inside. That's just one of the things. They were skating too, besides sledding. And sometimes we'd have our horse hooked up to a bobsled, our team. I heard them very seldom because my stepmother put a stop to it. But they would go out and about, I hear people talking like now, but I really can't understand it because my dad is Govant and my stepmother was Govant. They both talk, but I think one time she said something and he criticized it, saying it wasn't the way it was supposed to be, and said when she got somebody to find out what she said, or did she say it right or wrong? Well, he agreed with Daddy, and from then on, no Indian language in his house. Yes, I lived off. First time I lived off, I went to boarding school, Flandreau, South Dakota. Then went to California for a while, and then Chicago. Chicago was the last place I stayed. Lived off reservation. Except when I was going to college, then I went from Bozeman to Missoula to Great Falls, Havre, and then home. that way. But that's all within state, so I just never really pay attention to it. But you're right, it's off reservation. How was Chicago? It was very windy and dirty, but I liked it because we weren't too far from that stadium, that one stadium, football. And everywhere you went, there were things to do, all kinds of different activities. Without, like here, you sit down and everybody's got drinking or whatever they're doing nowadays, you know. Back there, we talked and we visited, and I enjoyed that. The people were close together and we worked together. Like here, they can't work together, and I really regret that because look how close Lottsville is to Hays and Harlem, and it's just not there. Well, I chose to work with my dad, so I was out in the field all the time, cutting hay, mowing it, irrigating it, and then when he cut it, we'd haul it in. And then after a while, he'd turn to bales, and that's when he hire some young men from around here. That was hard to cook for 13 people, you know. Yeah, then we'd brand. I'd help in my own way. I couldn't help directly with a cow and to cut them or brand them because I was a young girl. But I was there with the fire, making sure the iron stayed hot, things like that. Oh, we had a house there, and then there was a little bank like this, and down there was a spring. Clearest water, you could have purest water on the reservation. The only reason we couldn't use it when they started putting water in there, sand kept coming up. But the water was the purest, but they couldn't work with that sand. But it was just right below the house. Try winter time. You go up and you spill a little bit, it's icy, you know, but you still have to get water. And I did all that, even though I had brothers, but they were usually away to school because they were older than me. They went to Pier and then they went to Flandreau. And then we had 3 cows we had to milk. The girls did that. I had 2 stepsisters. The 3 of us did that. I was baptized Catholic. I don't know what you call the religion now. I don't live by it, but I don't put it down either. Because that's the way I was raised. Mission school was a Catholic school. And that's the first 8 years of my life. That's what we had. And it didn't turn me off on it. Because I know there's a creator out there. I don't care how you look at him, from what angle, you know, whether you're, like some say, Baptist and that stuff, he's still out there for anybody, for everybody. You're never alone. Very few. Most of the ceremonies we went like Christmas had. There's dances, powwow dances, and then down there, because they don't have this. What you see nowadays with the sun dances, they didn't have that at that time. It was just mostly what you saw, celebration. But yeah, and then the towel jack, when he uncovered his pipe, I was there. When everybody saw it, we had a big feed. Had to sit there. People probably couldn't do it now because we sat there a long time or knelt, you know, underground. And till they finally got through with the ceremony. It was a long ceremony. If you hear it now, it may be cut down, you know. A lot of them are doing that just for and they shouldn't do that, but for the people, the convenience of the people. Because I've heard several talk about me say that. So I'm not just saying that, but I can't remember who it is. And I can't quote them because I haven't talked to them and I got permission. I can just say what they told me. Do I like powwows? Definitely. And what I was told about the powwows by my dad is it's not just a entertainment. It's part social or prayer wise, you know. And always respect it. Not to wear anything sleeves shorter than this. Not to wear shorts. So even though I don't wear skirts when I go, I'm covered. Yeah, I don't have shorts on, I wear jeans. That's out of respect because it's not just a game thing, it's prayer too, and you respect that. You know, I had to talk on respect once, and I had a heck of a hard time because when I was raised, respect was an invisible person there. No matter what you did, turn around, respect, he was there on everything. That's how I was raised. I did, but when I was younger, I wasn't a very good dancer, but I danced. I enjoyed it. My stepmother would make dresses for us, 3 girls. There was 3 girls, her 2 daughters and me, and we'd dance. The one thing I see that could really help is everybody got in a community, they helped each other. They did things for each other in exchange, you know, maybe for this and that. Now all you see is anytime they can do something, their hands out is for money. That's part I can't do anything about, but even I don't agree with. When I can help people, I help them. I don't expect pay for it. That's the one biggest difference. But I see from the time I moved back until now, that there is a slight difference of going back because I see a lot of these younger people with respect, showing respect to other people instead of holding back. I see that change. It's a good change. I'm glad to see it. What do we need? Oh, that's a question I don't think I could answer. Because you're looking at different ways of things. They need a lot of stuff. Backing, support, respect, you know. And right now I'd like to see a home. How would you call it? A home, you know, where they could go, those old people. I'd like to see one built out here around Freeview. There's no mosquitoes there, and they could see the mountains, you know. Then if you send them to a rest home in the city, you know, there's nothing there for them to see, nothing. At least this way they could go outside and see there. That's one of the things but it's really hard to say. Yeah, everybody has different ideas and different needs. And I'm finding out that more and more they go against each other instead of working together. So even if their wants are put on the table, they still have trouble getting them done. My stepmother, she's the one that raised me. She taught me how to help people. She taught me canning and all stuff so that even though we were poor, I didn't know it. I didn't know it until I moved away from here. Then I realized how poor we were when I was little. Because we had food, we had cows. Like I said, we had cows, horses, and all that. Berries during the summer, our garden, all that we ate. And milk and cream and butter. We were giving people along here stuff, never expecting pay for it. Things like that. I don't know if you could ever bring them back or not. I'm hoping they're not lost completely, helping one another, you know. Right now when you see people help one another, how much is it going to cost? One thing is, how much is it going to cost, that's all. It shouldn't be like that. I mean, I don't expect it for nothing, you know. Helping out or having somebody help me, I expect to pay something back, give, you know, in some way or other. It's not totally just taken. You switch back and forth. You don't hardly see that now. It'll come back though. I know it will. It has to. I don't know stories because I was, between my dad and my stepmother, they were always, and we had no stories. But for my life, I was born and raised over there. I went to mission school. I went to Flanders. And I always thought I'd never leave the road, because to me this is my home. But from the time I went to Bozeman to college, I was just here now all over. California, Chicago. I ended up in Chicago. I think I lived there about 17 years or so. Then I finally came home. And I came home because by that time my husband and I separated. And my dad told my sisters to tell me to get home. I don't belong out there alone. So I came home. I had to find a place to stay. I stayed in Lodgeville with my ex-husband's aunt. That's where my boys, the older boys, grew up in Lodgeville. And she was a very traditional woman, so that's where whatever I have, I learned from. I just hoped, they could have what was way in the past, what I grew up with. And they'll do good. They'll go out from there. They'll get away from the drugs and the alcohol. They'll realize it's themselves. I hear so many people blaming this one and that one for some things they did. It was like me. If I went out and got drunk, that was my choice. Because at one time I did drink. I never did use drugs, but again, that was my choice. A lot of that, and that they have to be strong will. I suppose they have to have a lot of backing too, people they can rely on to help them do things. I did, and I hope they're not feeling too prideful when they need help to ask for it or seek it or accept it. Because there's nothing wrong with that, nothing. You need it, it's there, use it. Because later on you'll be passing on. That's how things are done. That's my belief anyway. Because I've all my life here, just down, when I moved back, I've helped people. But I also know this, that they think they're using me. They were using I just do well, but I helped them. And once they're helped to what I could do, I draw back. I don't keep letting them. So you may hear people say they're using me or I was used or something like that. But that's all right. They can use me if I let them. If I didn't know about it, then they would be using me, And why do that? Because they're not going to like you any better. That's not the way you get respect from people, You help them because they need the help and you can help them.